It is a gray December day at Soldier Field, a perfect setting for an NFC Central showdown. The Packers and the Bears meeting for the first time in 30 years in the second half of a season, each with winning records. That hasn't happened since 1963. The Packers are tied for the lead in the division with Detroit, and Chicago is a game back. Jim Nantz, Randy Cross, we're pleased to bring you the game today. Brett Favre with that bruised thigh, he will go today at quarterback.
And that's has to run, but if the Packers have Favre running, they're in trouble.
How about Jackie Harris back in the lineup?
17 days after a scope, he's back. He might be pushing it, but Mike Holmgren needs him in this offense.
They'll face a Bears defense that has not given up 20 points since the opener, a span of 10 games.
There aren't many defensive lines that can control a game all by themselves, but we have two here today with these two defensive lines.
It's the kind of a day and the kind of a game matchup that you expect could come down to a late field goal. Kevin Butler, last time the Bears played at home, he missed against the Raiders on November the 7th. It would have won it. And Chris Jackie kicked the winner in the Packers' last road game at New Orleans a couple of weeks back. The weather today in the high 30s, chilly, cloudy, and a gray day.
The field will be a factor, Jim. It's muddy and it's wet.
Chicago having won the toss, and that kick sideways from Jackie. We'll take it out at the 35.
Kickoff out of bounds. Ball would be placed at the 35. First down.
So the Bears offense directed by Jim Harbaugh, an offense that has not scored a touchdown against the Packers in their last 21 possessions. Here's the offensive line. Jay Lewinberg on that right side will be matched up today against Reggie White. In the backfield, Anderson and Hayward. Obi starts. Waddle as well as a receiver. Jennings is the tight end. In fact, they have two tight ends. Ryan Wetnight is in there also. And a rollout on first down. Harbaugh just has to get rid of it. Reggie White giving chase. In fact, the Packers in the first matchup this season sacked Harbaugh 7 times. Yurkovich is the nose tackle. White with 10.5 sacks. So has same number of sacks for Pop. Bryce Pop, 10.5 sacks. And here's the secondary. Leroy Butler with 5 interceptions.
If there's a mismatch today, Jim, it's this Packer defense against this Bear offense that has been inept at times.
Bob Christian in at fullback. Lead block on 2nd and 10. Anderson loses a yard. Tony Bennett got to him first.
Both Dave Wannstedt and Jim Harbaugh made the point, we need to get off to a good start. We haven't played well in front of our home fans, and we need them on our side. Well, the start they're getting off to right now, they won't have too many people on their side. Well played by Tony Bennett working against Christian on the top of the screen there on the lead block. A lot of support inside, yet support outside. There was nowhere to go.
Fred Banks has come in as an extra receiver. The Bears have struggled on their opening possession all season. In fact, they have failed to score a touchdown on their first possession all year. Only managed 1 field goal on their first drive of the season in each game. Here's on 3rd and 11. Anderson short of the first. George Coons brought him down about 3 yards shy of the first down.
And that tells you two things right there on that play. One, that Neil Anderson's maybe lost a little bit of a step, because a couple years ago I don't think George Coons runs him down quite like that. And two, the Packers do have some good speed at linebacker with Coons and Bennett and Pop.
Chris Gardocki to kick to Brooks. Robert Brooks snaps it. And it settles at the 23, a 33-yard boot. Brett Favre, bruised thigh on the play before the winning touchdown pass against Tampa Bay. But he's starting today with this offensive line in front of him. Rutgers goes against Richard Dent. Thompson and Bennett in the backfield. Sharp has the most receptions this year in the National Football League, and Harris at tight end.
If you control the defensive tackles of the Bears, you can control the line of scrimmage.
Thompson, hard run near a first. Maybe just a bit shy, but almost 10 yards on that carry for Darrell Thompson. Tootie Robbins with a good block. Dent has matched the number of sacks this season by Reggie White. 10.5 sacks. Dante Jones, 3 interceptions at middle linebacker. And there's the secondary. Lincoln, Carrier, Gale, and Wolford. They got the first down. So from the 34. And that is Mark Clayton near another first. But they're going to spot him out at the 42. So it'll be 2nd and 2.
Look for Brett Favre to do this all day. Mike Holmgren knows against this pass rushing Bears defense, you have to do a lot of 3-step drops. Look, 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that ball and get it out to a receiver right now. Don't let the defensive line get in a rhythm. You talk about quarterback rhythms. This is a D-line that has a rhythm all its own.
2 tight ends in for Green Bay. West and Harris. 2nd down, 2. Bennett has the first down out to the 48. Richard Dent eventually brought him down. Broke away from Dante Jones.
Well, Jim, when you see a back run like that, you have to think the line's doing a good job of staying on blocks. Watch the lineman blocking. Tootie Robbins down, a little kick out by Kerry Galbraith, and just a bad tackle there by Dante Jones. Bennett ran right through it.
So a couple of quick first downs for the Packers operating near midfield. Split backfield, back to the original starting lineup. Harris down at the 35. Jackie Harris right back into the lineup and picks up 16.
And that's the kind of thing Mike Holmgren and these Packers have really missed, is having Jackie Harris in there. It stretches out a defense, and it challenges probably the weakest part of this Bears defense, and that's their linebackers. The linebackers are forced to run with Jackie Harris, who can run.
You ever heard of a guy coming back from knee operation so fast?
It's amazing. I mean, there's guys right now on injury reserve out for the year after Scopes a couple weeks ago.
First down from the 35 of Chicago. Quickly back to Clayton. And bumped out at the 30 by Wolford. A couple of quick pops over to Clayton on this series.
And the one part of the offense is missing right now for the Packers is probably the most obvious part, and that's Sterling Sharp. But, you know, he made the point to us yesterday, you know, if they want to take me away, they can take me away. But if Mike Holmgren wants me to catch balls, I don't think they can keep me from catching balls.
2nd down, 5. Thompson dives inside of the 30. It'll set up a 3rd and about 3. Sean Gale came up to make the play. Minnesota, Detroit. How do you see that one today, Randy?
Without Barry Sanders, I think Detroit is severely hurting, because that puts the pressure on Rodney Peete and those receivers, and I just don't think they have the passing game or the poise to win without Barry Sanders. This is a Sterling Sharp down. This is where you look for him to find a way to get it to him.
3rd down and 3. Bard in traffic. Perfect pass to Harris. First down at the 20. Right between Carrier and Dante Jones.
And really watch the way when Sterling Sharp goes into motion, number 84, motioning across the screen. Watch Harris just runs right up the middle, settles right in the hole there between Maurice Douglas and Dante Jones. And, you know, you can say Favre threw a nice pass, but it was a better job of Harris of finding that soft spot in the zone.
First down from the 20. Wide open. Hold on, they've whistled the play dead.
As wide open as Harris was, somebody had to just flat stop.
And I didn't hear a whistle, and I looked up and said, wait a minute.
Play.
How could he be that open?
25-second clock, malfunction. There is no foul. There is no play. Still first down.
Jerry Austin, the referee today.
Well, if you're the Green Bay Packers, you think there was a foul on that last play, because by stopping that one there, probably cost them a touchdown.
Trace Armstrong was poked in the eye. We're told he'll return. But meanwhile, Alonzo Spellman has taken his place in the lineup.
Figure you get a smaller piece of ice on Trace's eye than that great big old bag. Just a couple ice cubes would probably do the same job.
That would suffice. 8th play of the opening series. You saw Spellman. 1st and 10. Here's the Bears defense coming up with the big play. Steve McMichael. McMichael playing in his 187th consecutive game, breaking Walter Payton's mark for most consecutive games played.
Watch the penetration McMichael has here. I mean, he's made a lot of offensive linemen over the years miserable, yours truly included. He's an amazing guy that can keep going the way he's going right now, and he's somebody for these young Bears to look at, and he's one of the main reasons I think this Bears defense is the way it is. He provides a lot of attitude.
And that consecutive game streak, of course, does not take into account the strike season of '87. 2nd down, 12. Picked off. It's Dante Jones, and he hands it off. This is Jeremy Lincoln. Lincoln all the way for the touchdown. 86 yards.
That was a tough decision here, Jim, but it looks like Favre was banged up trying to make that tackle. This could really a double hurt on the Packers.
Dante Jones with his 4th interception of the season, and he lateraled immediately to Jeremy Lincoln. The Bears defense comes up big again.
This defense is truly amazing. It is the best offense the Bears have.
Butler adds the extra point. 7-0 Chicago. A shocking 86-yard return.
This is called trying to go back to a good things one too often. Dante Jones, just like he did in Thanksgiving Day, steps in front of a poor pass and has the foresight to hand the ball off. Great run by Lincoln, but the biggest factor in that play wasn't the touchdown, I don't think. It could be a possible injury and bang up of Favre. Watch his shoulder. Right there, left shoulder on the ground.
Here's Brooks. Brooks to the 28. It is the first Bears interception return for a touchdown since 1991. A couple of seasons. You know, Dante Jones with now 4 interceptions, and the future Hall of Famer Mike Singletary, whom he replaced in the lineup, never had more than 1 pick in a season.
But Mike Singletary was one of those rare individuals. You never lost track of where Mike was. And Dante's playing well, but he's probably the best linebacker in a linebacker unit I think offenses will try to exploit here as the season winds down.
So Favre right back out there, and he hands off to Bennett, who scoots ahead for 6. Trace Armstrong returned to the lineup, and he made the tackle. Really telling stat is the takeaway stat for the Bears. In the 6 victories, 19 turnovers they forced. In the 5 losses, they managed only 3 takeaways. 2nd and 4. Screen pass. Thompson into Chicago territory, and Carrier finally makes the tackle at the 32. 33-yard screen pass play for the Packers. Frank Winters, one of many good blocks upfield.
You really can't overestimate what Jackie Harris has really meant to this offense. They're running things now they have not run in weeks. They look more confident. They're moving the ball. Coming back, look at the offensive line out there in front. Nice job by Thompson. You know, this Packer offense has moved the ball. The problem is going to be the mistakes for Brett Favre. It has been this season.
Winters with that good block you saw, 33 yards, and from the 31, Clayton. Another 5-yard pass play to Clayton, down to the 26. Lincoln bumped them out.
And they're rolling everything right at Sterling Sharp. They're rolling right to him. Watch what happens. He's always talking about, I'm running these little hitches. I'm just sort of standing there. But the way the defense is rolling, the safety, Donnell Wolford, is there. Inside is a safety just waiting for Sterling Sharp to come inside.
Rookie Carl Simpson has come in for McMichael. It's 2nd down and 5. Setting up and end around. Robert Brooks. And the Bears ran it all the way. Sean Gale.
And Dave Wanstadt's Bear defense has pretty much just played physical up front, forcing with their safeties, playing almost a 7-8 man look up front, and they're getting too much penetration. They have too many people on the line, on or near the line of scrimmage, to be messing around with the foolishness of a misdirection.
Simpson and Ryan on that defensive line are shuttling in with McMichael and Zorich. McMichael and Zorich now on the field on 3rd and 11. Favre has the first down. That was a sharp pass play. That one to Robert Brooks. I say sharp pass play, but we haven't seen Sterling so far in the mix.
I think that's one thing that this Packer offense has to prove to their opponents, is that they can move the ball and they can effectively do things without Sterling Sharp. I mean, they're going to wear this poor guy out. Look in the slot as Brooks just makes his break, comes inside, and just a pinpoint pass by Brett Favre. There was only about a 9-inch area. I think he had a chance to throw it in, but he threw it right in.
So the Packers are moving the football again as they were on their first series. First down, Favre. There's Sharp, breaks the tackle, and is in for the touchdown. Sterling Sharp, 18-yard touchdown.
You know, Sharp's always getting caught into the comparison game. Jerry Rice, Andre Rice, and Michael Irvin. No receiver in the league is stronger than this guy. Look at him just slough off Carrier. Donnell Wolford comes in here, never steps out of bounds, does Sharp. And with his strength, forget it. I don't care if Carrier was a linebacker. You're not going to knock Sterling Sharp out before he gets across the goal line.
His 9th touchdown of the season. And Chris Jackie ties it at 7. So the Packers come right back, driving 71 yards. 7-7 in the first.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Levi's loose-fitting jeans. Coca-Cola Classic, always the real thing, always Coca-Cola. And by Canon, a world leader in 35mm photography.
Jim Nance and Randy Cross with you from Soldier Field. 7-7 first quarter. Brett Favre. Look at the numbers so far.
That's amazing what he's done, and what he's really done is lead this Packer offense down the field twice and made one bad pass, but as is the nature of this Bears defense, they made him pay.
Jackie kicks to Conway. Curtis Conway running it back from the 4. Got a seam up the middle. Conway to the 27. Jim Morrissey made the hit at the 27. So the Bears offense will take the field for the second time when we return, tied in the first. Back at Soldier Field, you had to think going into this game it had the makings of a 10-7, 13-10 type game, but some sterling performances so far. And I don't say that as a play on words. I say that really in regards to the Bears' return for a touchdown, and then Favre coming right back when you thought he may have been shaken up and leading the Packers to a tying touchdown. Now Chicago on first down hands it off to Anderson for no gain. Jurkovic clogged the middle.
I tell you, this Bear offense has got to get something going against the Packers, or they're going to absolutely wear their defense out. They've got to get their defense off the field. Green Bay's moving the ball well offensively, but the Bears need to do something. They haven't scored a touchdown against the Packers in 22 possessions. Goes all the way down back to the second game of 91.
Second down and 10. There's a Harbaugh pass on target to Tom Waddle, and that's good enough for a first down.
That's what this Bear offense really needs, is for Jim Harbaugh to step up and become a passer, become a quarterback. As few yards as they throw for, there's a real premium. Now watch the job being done on Reggie White. You've absolutely got to count on him every play, but Wojciechowski basically took him on that time all by himself.
Fred Banks in for Waddle. First down. Anderson. When you break down Anderson's rushing totals on first down this season, he averages a little over 2 yards a carry on first down attempts. And he was stuffed on first and 10 to start this series, and this time picks up about a yard.
Well, the guy that made that play really go was Leroy Butler, coming from a strong safety position. Just forced the heck out of that and forced everything back inside. You know, when you talk about having force and having contained, that's having contained. You turn everything back to the rest of your defenders.
Second down and 9. Play action. Harbaugh through the hands of Waddle. Terrell Buckley defending.
Terrell Buckley knows after a quick glimpse around, he didn't see any flags, that that's great coverage when they don't throw flags, and if they do decide to throw the hanky on you, that you maybe got a little too physical. He was very physical on that one. If they throw a penalty, it's pass interference, but if they don't, you're just very physical, and he's all over. I mean, all over Waddle. Nice job.
Third and 9. 4 receivers in for the Bears. Ball up in the air and intercepted. That's Doug Evans. Intercepted by Evans. Run down immediately after the interception.
All right, Waddle does his job. Waddle's open. Harbaugh throws the ball behind Waddle. Good job by Roland Mitchell of having the backside cover. Watch where the ball goes. There's Evans. He's got it. It's bouncing. I don't know. I'd be hard-pressed to contend maybe that he dropped that thing and didn't really have possession.
But the Packers take over from their 46. Come out throwing to Brooks. Brooks breaks away. Broke away from Lincoln. And he's all the way down to the 36 of Chicago.
Well, you know that an offense is throwing hitch patterns when a defensive tackle gets all the way outside. Chris Zorich knocks Brooks out of bounds on that play. And the Packers and Favre are just doing what they've done all season long. Short, quick drops. Little dinky kind of receptions. And just a terrible job by Jeremy Lincoln of not wrapping up and tackling. But what a job of hustling by Chris Zorich.
They have 143 yards offense here in the first quarter. Marcus Wilson in the backfield. Wilson fumbles the football.
Dog pile.
Chicago football. Steve McMichael on his record-setting day, and he spikes it right to the referee.
I'd put my money on McMichael if you get into a pile fighting for a ball. Some way, somehow, he's going to come up with a ball. And Mike Holmgren on the Packers sideline has got to be sick. His offense has dominated and just come up with another stupid mistake. Because the ball was in his breath, ball was put in his stomach, and Wilson just fumbles it. Pure and simple. It just pops right out of his arms.
That's the first play of the game for Wilson, and then he fumbles it right back to the Bears.
Might be the last offensive play of Wilson today if Mike Holmgren has anything to say about it.
Chicago from their 43. Harbaugh to Obi for a gain of about 4, maybe 5. Buckley on the coverage. 3 turnovers here in the first quarter. I had just mentioned total offense. The fact that Green Bay has been racking up the yardage here. Chicago 26 yards in the first quarter. A minute, 18 seconds to go in the first quarter. Tim Worley now in the backfield. Second down, 5. Bryce Pop. Run him down at the 49. It'll set him a 3rd and short. 3rd and a long yard, maybe 2. McMichael, the second oldest defensive player in the NFL. The oldest defensive lineman. The only defender with more age, Clay Matthews of Cleveland.
We'll just call him old.
Yep.
That's old. Old will do professionally.
187 straight games he's played in for Chicago, breaking Peyton's mark of 186. 3rd and 2. Worley driving.
I don't think he got that. Even with a 320-odd-pound fullback Craig Hayward in front of him, I think that Packer defense managed to stuff that up.
4th and a yard to go.
I think you play the percentages here and you punt this ball and pin back the Packer offense. The last thing you want to do is give the Packers the ball here on the 47, 48-yard line.
Well, Coach Wannstedt will get a little extra time to think about it as we come to the end of the first quarter with the score: Green Bay 7 and Chicago 7. Jim Nance and Randy Cross, again, we're glad to have you with us today from Soldier Field. 7-7 after 1 quarter, and the Bears facing a 4th and short situation. You think they're going for it?
Harbaugh's got a great count here, but you got to think they're trying to draw him off. They can't really be doing it. Not in this situation. This is too critical, and the Packer offense is moving it too well.
Yeah, just draw him off. Yep, good call, Randy. Right you are, and the Bears will punt. So trying to get the Packers to get a little antsy.
And that's one of those defensive huddles during that timeout between quarters there where you know every defender for the Packers was saying no matter what they do, no matter how hard he screams, don't move a muscle. If that ball doesn't move, you don't move.
You know, that delay of game penalty counts against the offensive unit. That's the first penalty against the Bears offense in 4 games. Fumbled by Brooks. But it looks like the Packers are all over it.
Well, these are 2 good defenses and one offense that's a good offense in the Packers, and a pretty inept offense aside from a big play by Steve McMichael on the last drive of the Green Bay Packers. I think inside really having that efficiency of handling a football. This is not that bad of weather. It is not that terrible a wind condition, and why they can't hold on to it, I really don't know.
That was Mike Pryor falling on the football. 9 yards on first down they're averaging. And another successful first down play. Sterling Sharp hit from behind. That assured him of the first down. 13-yard pickup. Vincent Smith came in from behind.
That'll rattle your lunch bucket. Watch the end of this thing. You see a little bit of the strength of Sterling Sharp as he works against Donnell Wolford right here. A little straight arm action. Now watch Smith. Splatter. Sterling's strong, but when you don't see him coming, I don't care how big you are.
11-13.
New England today. And the Patriots are now up 14-0. There it is.
Well, the Patriots have proved on several occasions that no lead is safe. They don't play well from the front or behind for that.
But you know they're competitive in every game. 2nd and 9. Bennett, another first down. Out at the 42 of Chicago. 13 yards on that play. In the second quarter, early action of the second. Green Bay and Chicago tied at 7. The Packers on their first possession were driving. When Favre was picked off by Dante Jones, he handed off to Jeremy Lincoln, who returned it 86 yards for a Bears touchdown. Right back came Green Bay. 71 yards they marched. An 18-yard scoring toss to Sterling Sharp. First down. And the pass too high for Harris as Spellman was moving in on the quarterback.
And that was Brett Favre's first incompletion on first down. He's right now 8 of 9 for 95 yards, and that's really the key down for the Green Bay Packers. They need to be successful on first down because that opens the playbook up. That enables them to go to the Jackie Harrises, throw the little short hitches to the wide receivers, and it also enables Mike Holmgren to have enough faith to go to the running game.
Saw the timeout signal by Favre. Green Bay is going to talk it over.
Ladies and gentlemen, in Chicago, Northwest.
7-7 in the second. Well, we've been following Favre's hot hand. Lincoln with a touchdown return. Both of the Green Bay turnovers were in Chicago territory.
And thus far, we talked about the two physical defensive lines in this game and their ability to take over a ball game. So far, the Green Bay defensive line's done their part of the job, but the offensive line of the Pack, as you see there, and the defensive line of the Bears, I think this defensive line of the Bears so far has had it handed to them.
2nd down 10. Thompson's got a hole. Thompson falls forward near the first.
You know, one of the real marquee things about the defensive line of the Bears is their pursuit and their tenacity. But watch how out of position everybody gets. Dante Jones overruns it. Winters pushes him by, and this is not a defense that's used to being gashed like this, especially against the run. This is a defense that gets mad, and when they get mad, they get even.
3rd and 1 from the 33 of Chicago. Have 4 receivers in on 3rd and a yard. Thompson very close. Richard Dent met him at the 32. Question of how far forward they'll mark it.
Oh, this looks like it's going to be a measurement, Jim. It's going to be real close. You see that right foot marking the ball. I think you're looking at 4th down.
Referee Hoffman has called for the chain gang.
And here's an instance where Mike Holmgren, if he does have 4th down here, he can go for it here. I think the way his defense is playing against the Chicago offense.
Yep, inches.
And I think you go for it.
He's got kind of a smile on his face, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, when things are clicking the way your offense is clicking, everything on that chart he's got in his hand, he can pretty much go to whatever he wants to at this point. Yeah, this is a situation that the Packers are lacking one thing, is that's legitimate lead blocking type of a fullback.
situation the Bears defense loves. A challenge like this. 4th and inches.
Big physical quarterback.
Bennett easily with the first. Driving to about the 27.
Watch the surge of the Green Bay Packers offensive line, especially on the right side behind Harry Galbraith and Tootie Robbins. Watch this. Wow. Alonzo Spellman got way too high, and Tootie Robbins just speared him.
How about first down totals in this game so far? Would you believe 12-1? Remember, the Packers have already turned it over twice in Chicago territory. First down. Thompson to the 24. Gain of 3. Ran into McMichael and Jones.
And Mike Holmgren's been criticized of late for being conservative with his play calling, but I think without Jackie Harris and with Sterling Sharp banged up, there hasn't been a whole lot that Coach Holmgren could really do offensively. You know, Sharp's foot's not getting any better, but with the running game coming around the last few weeks and Harris back now, he's got a lot bigger playbook.
Second down, 7. Favre to Sharp. Sharp still doesn't go down, but he knocks the defender backwards. Wolford set up another 3rd and short situation.
Truly an amazing wide receiver, Sterling Sharp. I mean, Donnell Wolford, I think, is one of the best coverage corners in the league, but this guy is so physical and so strong. He puts a guy like Wolford in a situation where you've got to go low and really hold on and hope for help coming later. I mean, at the rate they're using Sterling Sharp, this guy may wear out. He's only been in the league about 6 years, but it's been a long 6 years.
3rd down and 2. Favre batted down by Dent. Oh, almost came away with it. He already has 1 interception this season.
That's a real great matchup over there between Ken Rutgers and Richard Dent. Been going at it for quite a while. And you don't always have to get heat and get close to be a factor. Dent doesn't even rush. He just sits back and waits for the dump pass.
Chris Jackie will try one inside of 40 yards. He has made 26 straight inside of the 40. This is 36 yards. And there is the end of the streak from inside 40. 7-7 it remains. Tamara McKinney, Billy Kidd. That's next today here on CBS. Worley in the backfield. First down for Chicago. Through the hands of Worley. George Teague came up to defend.
Good anticipation by the Packer defense. I mean, they've held so far the Bears to 28 yards. Pretty amazing this far into the game. But when you're looking at an offense of the Bears, they are so predictable at this point that I think a defense can really take chances and tee off.
Second and 10. Worley. Nice piece of running by Worley. And I think they spot him past the 30, which would be good enough for the first. We have an update for you, so we send it back to New York with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim, Houston Astrodome. The Oilers in the lead, the Falcons threatening, but Bobby Hebert's pass picked off in the end zone by Steve Jackson. The Oilers have intercepted the Falcons twice in the end zone and hold on to a 3-0 lead in the second quarter. Jim and Randy, back to you.
Boy, that really looked like Risen had it for a moment there, and he wanted the touchdown.
A touchdown that was stolen out of his arms.
Was good enough for the first down, the run by Worley. Harbaugh to Obi. And the flag is thrown on Roland Mitchell.
The best offensive play of the day for Chicago is a pass interference call on Roland Mitchell. And, you know, it sounds kind of tired and old, but you better look back if you're going to be that close to a receiver down the field.
Defensive pass interference, number 47, first down.
The Harbaugh to Obi combination hooked up for a touchdown on Thanksgiving Day.
Never look back. That's an easy call. Look how long it takes for Harbaugh to get pressured. Good fake on a play action. I mean, Matt Brock was back there, but he was back there about 4.5 seconds after the ball was snapped.
41-yard penalty from the 27 of Green Bay. And back up Chicago 5 yards. Leuenberg. Looked like a pass play coming up, too.
Before the snap, false start, number 58, 5 yards, it's still first down.
Well, it definitely was going to be a pass. You saw Leuenberg just go back into his pass protection mode. But, you know, how typical is this of a 93 Bears game, though? The Packers are moving the ball up and down the field. The Bears defense is having a bit of an off day. The Bears offense isn't moving it. But in typical fashion for Chicago, they are close with a tied game. This is the way they win football games.
And in position to go ahead. It's 1st and 15. 1-yard run for Worley. Leroy Butler and Johnny Holland combine on the tackle at the 31. Kind of lift as Worley given the Bears since they signed him a month ago.
Well, he's a big physical kind of running back that, as you saw in that one play in the beginning of this possession, he can get the corner. Good speed, 6'2", 2.25", but he can move it. He's a deceiving back. Looks like he's loping, but he's moving.
2nd down, 13. He had a nice run earlier on this series. There's the pass to the tight end, Keith Jennings. And he's tackled at the 24. 3rd and about 6 coming up. George Coons made the hit at the 24. Passing yards, well, Favre 166. Chicago 23, but they did pick up 41 yards on the pass interference. Harbaugh 3 out of 7 so far.
In a game like this, Jim, there's only one stat that matters. That's the score.
3rd down, 6. Harbaugh has the first down with Terry Obi. 8-yard play, and the Bears with a new set of downs at the 16.
Hey, you talk about the crowd not being behind the Bears in the past here home in Chicago, but what these fans really want and what these fans are getting right now is a reason to cheer. They're getting some plays, a big penalty, a couple of good passes. And this is the kind of offense the Bears are going to run for this season. It's not going to be flashy. It's not very exciting. But if it doesn't make mistakes, it won't get you beat.
On 1st down, Harbaugh to the end zone. In the area of Waddle.
Well, Waddle was open there, too, working against Roland Mitchell. We're talking about the defensive lines. Well, I tell you, this series, or the last couple of plays at least, Reggie White and the defensive line has not been much of a factor. There's Wojciechowski and Leuenberg working on Reggie White, and if you see 2 guys blocking on Reggie, you got to think somebody else on the other side's getting man-on-man blocking. But the man-on-man blocking's working because nobody's getting close.
2nd down, 10. That's Worley to the 11. It'll be 3rd and 5. In the first meeting this year, the game 1 on Halloween at Green Bay, the Packers won 17-3. But inside of the 20, Chicago had it 3 times inside the 20. Ended up with 1 field goal, a fumble, and a turnover on downs, a loss in downs. So ineffective. Only came away with 3 points. 3rd and 5 here.
Little confusion on the offensive set. Not having a real quality receiver really hurts down here in the red zone. To
the end zone and well over the head of Fred Banks.
The real go-to guy, I guess, would be Tom Waddle, but there is not a receiver on this team that strikes anywhere near fear into the heart of the defensive backfield. Waddle's a receiver that can get inside, get downfield, and get it. But when you're getting all that zone, you need a speed guy, and he does not exist right now in this offense. Conway be the closest thing.
It was 1 yard further back from the same spot on the field the last time Butler attempted a kick here at Soldier Field. This is 29 yards. This time right down the middle. On that last occasion, he missed the field goal in the last play of the game that would have beaten the Raiders. But a long time good kicker in this league, Butler, gives Chicago the 10-7 lead. Soldier Field, and the Bears lead at home 10-7, coming off that remarkable 12-day stretch. 3 games on the road, 3 wins. Turn this season around for him. Brooks from out of the end zone. And a good tackle by his own teammate.
Well, the most important thing now, I think, in this game is hold on to the ball. Don't make the mistake you made earlier, Brett Favre.
When you're the world's largest hotel and entertainment complex, the MGM Grand, you need plenty of wide open spaces. So it's only fitting that a city of pyramids, palaces, and castles would be the new home of our 5,000-room kingdom, complete with a magical Emerald City, a 15,000-seat event center, even a 33-acre theme park. Las Vegas, where the lion will reign supreme. Try to take it.
Well, the NFL actually will have Saturday games coming up now, including next weekend, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time. 49ers travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons live from the Georgia Dome. Actually, it all starts with the NFL today at 3:30, followed by the 49ers and Falcons, and you have an over and under on that game, huh?
That's going to be one of those 1,000-yard offense kinds of games.
That's the benchmark.
With that 49er offense in the red gun, it's defense won't be the featured event next Saturday.
Green Bay from the 23, first down. 4:53 left in the first half. Bennett out to the 30. Gain of 7. Joe Kane met him at the 30.
Well, there's plenty of time for Brett Favre in this offense to move the ball down the field. The key for the Bears is going to be to try to cause one of these quarterbacks, or the quarterback of the Packers, Favre, to make a mistake. He's got an interception so far. They've got a fumble. And you'd call that a quarterback comparison, but really the term should be quarterback no comparison so far.
Second down 3. Bennett, riding right behind a lead block of Ed West, picks up the first.
There's running to daylight, and then there's this. If there's no daylight, what do? Oh, you just find a big guy and you surge up behind him. In this case, Ed West is tight end. Had his linebacker 5 yards down the field.
You start heading west, or was it south? It's enough for the first down from the 35. Nine yards on that play to Sharp.
You know, there are plenty of times in this offense for Green Bay where Sterling Sharp leaves the huddle and Brett Favre really has no idea where he's going. He knows Sterling Sharp's job: find the hole in the defense, sit down, and he'll find me.
3:10 remaining in the first half. Second down 1. Chicago leads 10-7. Bennett, very close. Got just across the 45. And they've already given him the signal for the first down.
One thing surprising so far in this game has really been that the Chicago Bears have been cut off so much of their inside pursuit. They're a team that can just wear down offenses because they're so relentless from the backside. And so far today, the Packers' running game has taken a long time in some cases going outside, but that inside pursuit that Dave Wannstedt stresses so much just has not been there.
First down from the 46. Slings it over to Jackie Harris, who advances it into Chicago territory. Down at the 49. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go in the first half with Chicago in front 10-7. Greg and Terry with scores and highlights. Plus a winter sports update. 69 days to go before Lillehammer and the opening ceremony. And yesterday a world record set by Dan Jansen in the 500 meters. We'll have a report on that. Outstanding effort by Dan Jansen. Second down and 5 for Green Bay. Barr fires it to Harris. Harris tumbles to the 22.
One of the most impressive things about Brett Favre is his total lack of urgency in these types of situations. He's a young quarterback. He's a guy that's got one full season from last year under his belt and has had some troubles earlier this year. But, you know, there's no fluster to this guy. There's no hurry to this guy. And when he's got this guy, Jackie Harris at tight end, this is a whole different offense.
Thompson for a yard. McMichael and Armstrong combine on the tackle. Green Bay used a timeout earlier in this quarter, so they have 2 remaining.
And Jim, this is that spot of the field. If you're a defensive coach and you're a defensive back, as much little stuff as Mike Holmgren and the Packers like to throw those little hitches and little just run out and stop, you got to be very aware of kind of a hitch and go that turns into a fade, a high lob into the end zone.
Second down 9. Barr, look out, picked off by Lincoln. That's the 3rd turnover in Chicago territory. Intended for Jackie Harris.
Well, just when you're saying how remarkably cool and calm Brett Favre is, he reminds you how remarkably young he is at times by pegging the old needle on the dumb meter. And that's an instance where Brett Favre is not going to want to go to the sideline and explain this to Mike Holmgren. First question from Mike Holmgren. Brett, what were you thinking?
17 interceptions now on the season. 215 yards passing in the half, but Green Bay trails. Anderson loses 2 yards. Pop came up quickly, so did Sammy Walker.
Tell you, you're getting a little smattering of boos here at Soldier Field, but the last thing the Bears want to do is make a dumb mistake like the Packers have, especially in their own territory.
Second down 11. Well, they surprise you here. Oh, they throw it. It bounces right off the hands of Robert Green.
Yeah, but he knocked it down well. That about sums it up there, folks. This is a Chicago Bears team that is going to find a way to beat you. They're going to somehow, some way, the way their defense plays, it's almost irrelevant what they do when they have the ball. The defense sets up the offense, and if the offense can't do it, the defense becomes the offense.
Third down and 11. Anderson tackled by Mitchell. And Green Bay calls timeout with 11 seconds. There is a flag down.
It's one of those pull downs that could be a face mask on the backside.
We have a 5-yard face mask on the tackle. Repeat, third down.
Well, with 11 seconds to go, should Green Bay run it again or Chicago run it again and get stuffed, Packers may want to consider taking a timeout and trying for the old free kick off of a fair catch before the half.
Well, they've got a kicker in Chris Jackie that's got the leg to do that type of thing, but you know, the reason that Jim Harbaugh makes millions of dollars is to come through in these kind of positions.
Third down, 6. They do run it. Green doing a lot of cutting. Some swift moves in that one. Timeout called by the Packers with 4 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, I tell you, Jim, Mike Hornman's got to be thinking right now, don't even put a return guy back here. Get 11 guys and go after the kicker. You got 4 seconds left. Why not go for the block here and try to make something happen? Because Gardocki, if he gets it off, is going to pin them well back.
First they have to measure. Ooh, that's close, but didn't get it. So Gardocki will punt. They will put a returner back.
Oh, there's a kiss of death. Anytime. And it's kind of like saying this guy's never missed a punt like this.
They send Brooks back.
Chris Gardocki is in punt formation. Robert Brooks keeps for the Packers.
Well, the Packers charged with the timeout. Smart thing here probably by Gardocki is just kick it out of bounds.
Well, you get enough hang time on this kick. They talk about 4 seconds being the optimum hang time. It's got 4 seconds left. Look at Holmgren. I don't know if I'd want to be in that Packer locker room when they get in at halftime here, because Mike Holmgren's not known as a volatile personality, but I guarantee you he's going to make an exception this time. He's got a lot to scream about, and Dave Wannstedt's got a lot to be happy for.
Gardocki ran over and got a last-second lesson from Danny Abramowitz, the special teams coach.
Hang it up and put it out.
Brooks down at the 45. So that ends the half. A half where the Packers raced up and down the field, but trailed. It's Chicago 10 and Green Bay 7 at halftime.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Compact Computer Corporation. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? And by Magnavox, the ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
After an interception by Dante Jones, handed it off to Jeremy Lincoln. 86 yards total on that play. The Bears lead 10-7. Here at halftime, Jim Nantz with Randy Cross, and you've been saying all along, this is a typical Bears performance. What do you see the rest of the way? What are we headed for?
Well, the first half, we saw the Packers do everything that either team needed them to do to win. Packers were moving the ball, and they were turning the ball over. The second half, it'll be all turnovers. Whoever makes the critical turnover is going to lose this game. Green Bay and Brett Favre cannot afford to keep doing these stupid things when they're throwing the ball.
Well, the halftime numbers are pretty decisive in favor of Green Bay. Look at this, 15-4 first downs, more rushing yards, huge edge passing yards, but the 3 turnovers all committed in Chicago territory. 2-1 time of possession, too.
And the one thing Jim Harbaugh has not done is he has not made the mistakes that Brett Favre has. Granted, the offense hasn't done anything, but, you know, if you're not making the critical errors, turning the ball over down in the opponent's territory, you're not going to kill yourself.
Corey Harris on the return. He's a good one, too. Corey Harris to the 38. Kevin Minifield made the tackle.
Tripped up by Minifield.
Favre, 215 yards, 17 of 21, over 80% clip in the first half, but you're trailing 10-7.
Both those interceptions, though, were a bad case of the Huns. You look at that thing and the way it was thrown, and you say, huh?
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 There's the Packers' first half possessions. Not a punt, not a single punt. And here comes Green Bay moving the football right away in the second half. 9 yards on that one. 11 yards on that one.
Starting a drive isn't the hard part for Green Bay. Finishing the drive is what they're having the hardest time with today.
A gain of 11 on the play. The Packers have first and 10 at their own 40.
When you see the Brett Favre passing offense, you expect it to be fairly short pass oriented, but not quite this heavy. I mean, this is the kind of tendency that a good defense should be able to sit on.
Thompson with McMichael on him, down at the 46.
And when you talk about sitting on an offense, it's pretty much making them do what Green Bay hasn't been able to do, and that's go the distance and beat you just with methodical execution. Green Bay's moved the ball great, and they're throwing the ball short, and they're running it fairly effectively, but every time it seems they've gotten something good going, Mike Holmgren's offense, specifically his quarterback, has done the bonehead mistake.
Second down, 6. Room to run, and he has the first down at the 40.
And you know Mike Holmgren's watching Brett Favre run with that bad thigh bruise the whole way, saying, get out of bounds, get down, get out of bounds, get down. That'll make a coach get a few gray hairs. If it's not his quarterback throwing it into funny places, it's his quarterback that's gimping around a little bit, deciding he's going to make something happen and go the extra distance for the first down.
First down at the Chicago 40. Oh, that slipped right out of his hands, and the ruling and a fumble. The ruling and a fumble. Jones has it. Dante Jones steps over Favre. Touchdown, Chicago. Second of the day by the defense. Dante Jones.
Sometimes you have to pump your team up. Sometimes you figure it's a big game. Maybe you don't. Well, right now the Packers are executing at times, but at other times they're sleepwalking. That was clearly a fumble. And everybody on the Packers offense hesitates, looking around like, when are they going to blow the whistle? Guys, don't wait for the whistle. Good heads-up play by Dante Jones.
How about the Roger Kingdom move at the 10?
Hurdling the quarterback,
yes.
Doubling back to get him. There's an interesting conversation.
This was the big question, though. Was it a pass? Did the football ever go forward in motion?
Well, you know what? It don't matter now. It's about to be a 10-point Bear lead. That ball's coming out before that hand goes forward. Watch Dante Jones. He's real slow getting up here. A dive, grabs that left knee as he goes into the end zone.
And he's getting help now off the field. May have pulled a hamstring, Randy, on that hurdling move. But what a day he's had. The interception that led to the first touchdown when he gave it up to Lincoln, who ran it back. And this time Jones didn't hand off to anyone. He did look around for a moment, but he races 32 yards.
Linebackers aren't used to running that far, Jim. That might have just been a cramp.
He's Mr. Offense and Mr. Defense today for Chicago.
Well, the MVP of the Chicago Bears right now is definitely Brett Favre.
the Bears now lead by 10. That, by the way, started at the Chicago 40, that play. So 4 times Green Bay has turned it over in Chicago territory.
Introducing one of the most visually distinct automobiles you've ever seen, and the most technologically advanced Celica Toyota has ever created. The all-new Toyota Celica, with sophisticated safety systems, available ABS, standard driver and passenger side airbags. But despite all this technology, when people see the new Celica, there's only one thing that keeps coming to mind. Watch out, it's here.
What a key game this is today. The Packers come in tied with Detroit for the lead in the Central, with Chicago a game back. And right now Minnesota holds a lead of 6-0 at the Silverdome. Important from the Bears standpoint too, because if they lost this game to the Packers, not only would they be 2 games behind them, but if they ended up in a tie by season's end, they lose a tiebreaker to the Packers, and head-to-head it would have been a sweep. Oh, look at this run back. Out to the 44. Minifield makes another special teams tackle.
Well, it's a nice return, but the question is, can Brett Favre and the Packers stop being the Bears' best friend? And this is not pressure. This is nothing else other than the ball right there. You saw as it was going back, not forward. The ball slips out of Favre's hand. It's a fumble, and you see nothing but blue jerseys going after the ball. Little hurdle by Dante. That was his last little gasp of energy, got him in on that one.
And that was his first NFL touchdown. Longer route this time, and Wolford knocks it loose from Sharp. Dave Wannstedt told us on Friday Wolford's having a Pro Bowl season. That was a Pro Bowl play right there.
Well, this Bears defense thrives on really emotion, and the Packers up until today have thrived on the fact they've moved the ball, but they've done the stuff late that has enabled them to win. So far they've done the stuff early that's going to enable them to lose if they keep it up.
2nd down and 10. Oh, they stick it into the belly of Thompson for 2 yards. Hit first by Albert Fontenot.
That's the old slow draw where they hand the ball around. You see Dante Jones on the sideline trying to loosen up that leg.
He should be carrying a football over there just to, loosening up.
At the rate he's been handling today, too.
He said, I've accepted the fact I'm going to be the man who replaced Mike Singletary for the rest of my life. Replacing a Hall of Famer, but I don't think that's necessarily true today. Third down, Favre wide open area. And out at the 33. This is where it becomes all unraveled for the Packers.
Yeah, we know they can move it between the 20s. We know they can get it down there, but the question is now when they throw the ball, they've thrown it to the guys in white, or they've thrown it to the guys in the other color.
Percy Snow, by the way, is in for Dante Jones at middle linebacker. Hey, you have 18-4 first down advantage.
Yeah, but the Bears almost have as many points as the Packers have first downs.
And you trail by 10. Bennett, no gain. Tim Ryan. Sun has come out too.
Slowly but surely, this Bears defense is starting to take the line of scrimmage back over again, especially inside. There's a sight we haven't seen much this weekend, and that's what is that thing anyway? It's up there. It was up there behind the clouds all weekend long.
Folks on the East Coast haven't seen much of that either. Second down 10. Ed West. And he's close to the first down. His first catch.
That was a nice job by Ed West, because, you know, if Harris is a wide receiver type of a tight end, Ed West is the stone you in the face and block you. And when he gets that ball down the field, he kind of goes like a pickup truck. But when you get a pickup truck with that kind of momentum, he'll have a chance of getting close to a first down. 6'1", 245. Oh, I love the weights they list around here these days, especially Craig Hayward's.
You'd like to step on that scale, wouldn't you? Make you feel good. Yeah, that's right.
And they're about 2 chain links short of a first down. As you see Dante Jones getting that knee / hamstring taped up.
3rd down and inches, and 3 tight ends in the lineup for Green Bay. Mark Chmura has come in, joining Harris and West. Wow, what a stick. Spellman, Snow, and others.
Do you see how much confusion there was on the Bear defense? They're sliding people around. They're moving them back and forth. And right before the ball snapped, there's still people moving. There's a big bubble hole over the left guard. But that hole gets filled in a second by Percy Snow. Nice fill job from the backside linebacker. Well, that's a double win right there. The Packers got their first down, but I think the Bears made a point.
Guarantee that's a hard-earned 4 inches.
Well, Dave Wanstead knows that Mike Holmgren does not have the receiver on the other side from Sterling Sharp, and as a group, they don't have the speed to worry about going deep into the end zone. They'll throw short, hope to run it long.
Thompson tracked down for a loss of a yard by Joe Kane. So again, Green Bay with 19 first downs versus 4 for Chicago, but 4 times Green Bay has turned the football over in Chicago territory. Here's Percy Snow in for Dante Jones. 2nd down, 11. And near another first down. Jackie Harris.
And much like you've seen on almost every possession of the Packers, just a case of a receiver, in this case Harris, going out and settling down in that hole in the zone, finding the spot, and Favre delivering it. Another dink pass, just a little something to move the chains. But the Bears, as the field shrinks, the Bears will give them those passes. They'll keep them in front of the end zone and not let them in.
Another first down.
Steve McMichael in a strange position for him on the sideline.
Hold on a minute. Play whistle dead. Richard Dent
got an offsides.
He was about to take down Favre.
Defensive guys can get convenient loss of hearing sometimes. In those
Before the ball could be snapped, number 34 jump, ball start. 5 yards, it's still first down.
You know, the Bears defense has allowed only 1 third-quarter touchdown this season, and that was in week 1 against the Giants. So 10 straight games without allowing a touchdown in the third quarter. That's being put to the test right now.
Dante Jones is back in there on defense, middle linebacker, but the Packers offense once again has managed to make a dumb mistake. If you're the Bears defense, you're going to be very aware of this ball being thrown over the middle of the field, much like that little dump pass to Harris that Jones intercepted in the first quarter.
First down and 15. Barr almost intercepted again. Tipped by Sean Gale, and Lincoln had a diving stab at it.
Right in the same territory as before.
There is a flag down, Randy. Oh, against the Bears.
Automatic first
That's
down.
an automatic first down. Defensive holding.
And Dave Wannstedt hasn't had much to scream about as far as things going against him so far today. He's gotten much of the breaks, and much of the breaks have been given to his Bears by this Packer offense.
Midway through the third quarter, and Chicago leads 17-7.
With a clean slate of downs, Jim, you gotta remember that Sterling Sharp factor with his strength and his ability to break tackles and get open and take the ball in.
He has scored Green Bay's only touchdown. First down, handoff. Thompson to the 12, maybe the 11. McMichael back in there, makes the tackle. McMichael was pretty intense before the game today, wasn't he?
He darn near had Leslie Visser from NFL Today jumping out of her skin. She comes up to him and goes,
"Hey, how you doing?
I'd like to ask you a few questions." He goes, "Not now, not now." She turns around and goes, "Oh, okay." He says, "All I got to say, nothing to say. It's kill." He screams, and she came about 6 inches off the ground. He's thinking kill right now, and the kill he's thinking is Brett Favre.
Second down and 9. Mishandled right across the middle. Edgar Bennett had a little bit of an opening too. And Vincent Smith on the bench right now, getting some attention.
That whole Bears defense is smoking right now, the job they're doing against this Packer offense, because I think the Packers have figured out we're not going to run it in. They have got to throw it in.
Third down and 9. Favre wide open. It's Bennett. Holds on this time, but short of the first. Tackled at the 8 by Wolford. And the Packers will try a field goal that would bring them within 7.
Hey, you got to put these points up on the board. Still plenty of time left. Pull within a touchdown.
Jackie in the first half missed from 36 yards, stopping his streak of 26 straight successful field goals inside of 40.
Excellent job in that last play, though, by the entire Bears defense. You talked about that inside pursuit. You talked about their tenacity. You saw it in that last play.
Brian Wagner will hold 26-yard attempts. This Jackie has it. So it's a 7-point game. 6:14 remaining third quarter. Chicago 17-10.
I don't say this to many people, but the job we do is the most important job I can think of.
Okay, guys, listen up.
I mean, there's no such thing as a B-plus mechanic on this airline.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Even the most junior mechanic can keep an airplane in this hangar if there's a hint of a problem. You might think a job like this would become routine, but every now and then, I just take a walk through the terminal, and right there, you see what's important.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Here.
Yes. But right now it's 17-10 Chicago. Third quarter. Haven't seen a whole lot of that Bears offense.
How about none? Time of possession, there's only an 18-minute difference between Green Bay and Chicago right now. Green Bay has had the ball 28 minutes.
Kicking to Conway. The first rounder fumbled the football. He fumbled at its tail end of that. And Green Bay says Packer football.
What else would you expect them to say?
Dexter McNabb signaling, and I think they do have it. They do.
There is a flag. There is a flag down, Jim.
McNabb forced it. I think Keogh Coleman has it.
It's got to be a block in the back or something like that.
Junior run back, holding, number 91. That penalty is declined. First down, Green Bay.
Keogh Coleman with the recovery. Well, Dave Wanstead has made the point repeatedly. His defense and special teams have been the key for him, and right now that key puts up with a big turnover. Dexter McNabb came in and just raked across the arms of the rookie Conway and knocked that one loose. Remember, Conway was a quarterback his first couple years at SC. Wasn't until the last few years he's been a receiver at all. So even things like that are relatively new to this young man.
(4-2) in the turnover department. Thompson stuffed and dropped for about a 3-yard loss. Ron Cox got there first. He smothered him. There he is.
That Bears defense is not going to let them run the ball down in this area. They're going to make them. They're going to make them throw it. Watch the penetration. Early in the game, the Packer line was coming off and controlling the inside. Not anymore. Zorich, Cox, Armstrong. If they don't throw it, they're not scoring. You can only kick so many field goals. The Bears eventually have to make something happen offensively.
Second down, 13. Favre out of bounds at the 23. The 3rd and long for the Packers.
Bad combination of getting pressure up in his face and nobody being open downfield for Brett Favre on that one. Good job by the Chicago Bears down the field of covering the receivers. The deepest receiver on that play was the tight end, Jackie Harris.
So they'll go to 4 receivers. Even split in play selection, but 3rd down and 10.
If the Packers are going to win this, it'll be won by Brett Favre.
Favre hits his man. It's Clayton getting away and into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. (22 yards). Favre to Clayton. Clayton broke away from Mark Carrier. And this is the first touchdown allowed by the Bears in the 3rd quarter since the opener.
And that's the kind of play Mike Holmgren and the Packers have just been begging they could get from the off receiver, the other guy besides Sterling Sharp. If they can worry about Clayton, then you can get Sharp open more.
Now to tie it. Jackie does it. 17-17. All set up by the turnover on the kick return. Packers have stormed back to tie it. Mark Clayton has scored his 2nd touchdown as a member of the Green Bay Packers. 2nd of the season, that is. It was 17-7 at one point in this quarter. 10 unanswered, though, by the Packers.
Statistically, the Packers are just dominating this game, but if the Bears do one thing real well, and that's win ugly, they will make you beat yourself.
There's a flag down offsides against Green Bay, so a free run back, and they'll turn down the penalty because Robert Green is out of bounds at the 43. Some Packers left way too early on that kick.
A return of 22 yards.
We'll certainly turn it down.
Offside, number 31 on the kickoff. Penalty is declined. First down, Chicago.
Well, a name of it, a pooch kick. A little pooch kick, and that's very apropos because that was a dog.
We'll be right back.
On the field.
Jim Nance and Randy Cross, and there's your 3rd quarter breakdown for you.
Now, if that doesn't confuse you, I don't know what's the idea of the game. Hold on to the ball. But you know, if you're a Chicago Bear fan, the whole idea of the game is to win. It doesn't matter how you do it. If you have to do it off their mistakes, fine. And Dave Wanstead knows he can't rely on the offense to win football games.
First down, Chicago. They come out throwing. Harbaugh flushed out. Now lobs it. Got Jennings at the 40. And inside of the 30, down to the 28. Keith Jennings from Harbaugh.
A nice job of adjustment, not only by Jim Harbaugh, but also by Jennings. As this thing breaks down, watch Jennings 85 move with his quarterback. You hear that said a lot, but that was a good example of 85 moving. He saw Harbaugh break the pocket, and Keith Jennings breaks back the other way towards his quarterback for a big play.
That's the longest play of the day for Chicago. Worley down to the 25. You know, prior to this series, 27 of the last 30 plays had been run by Green Bay. The only 3 plays by the Bears were at the end of the first half when they were just trying to exhaust the clock.
Well, the important thing for the Chicago Bears right here is they're inside of Butler's field goal range. They can't get more conservative, but what they can do is prevent themselves from making a mistake here.
Second down, 7. Obi breaks away and down to the 13. He got away from Mitchell, and then Coons tackled him at the 13.
And this Terry Obi is just a player that maybe on paper doesn't look like much, but as Dave Wanstead says, he's just a guy that somehow finds a way to make big plays for me. And here he just sloughs off Roland Mitchell. He's not a big physical receiver. He's not a specimen, but if he won't go down, you had better wrap him up.
Worley down into 6. Chicago playing now with a new spark on offense.
Watch this offensive guard coming out of the backfield wearing number 45. Offensive guard, watch this nose guard coming out of the backfield. Ironhead Hayward off the left tackle.
Oh.
I mean, he makes linebackers, in that case George Coons, look like those speed bumps in a shopping center there. He just goes right over him.
Second down and 4, nothing this time.
Ball's loose.
Packers say it, but up now they're ruling it. One official pointed to the ground.
Well, the official wearing number 4 for the Bears is pointing to its Bears ball.
Worley fumbled it, but was he ruled down first? You know, if he was ruled down, they wouldn't be making such a big deal about who recovered it.
Well, the ball has changed hands 2 or 3 times, and it ends up in the Bears.
So it was ruled a fumble, but recovered by Chicago. Fontenot, Jerry Fontenot, I believe, recovered it.
Watch this. There's the ball. It is loose. It is on the ground. There's Fontenot right at the bottom of the pile. Tony Bennett has hands on it for a brief second, but Fontenot flopped on it.
Third down, 3 from the 6. Anderson, the single back. Harbaugh to the back of the end zone. And they'll have to bring out Butler. That was intended for Tom Waddle. Sammy Walker on the coverage.
Waddle's their guy. They go to him in pressure situations, but Harbaugh wasn't about to put that ball where anybody besides Waddle was going to have a crack at it.
This will be a 24-yard attempt. Butler is 21 of 27 on the season.
No such thing as a sure thing here at Soldier Field with a soft field in the wind.
Well, he made that one look automatic. And the Bears are back in front. 1:38 remaining third quarter. 20-17 Chicago. Well, this game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Chicago Bears, and the National Football League is prohibited. They've had some good runbacks in this half. This time, Brooks is halted at the 28. Ron Cox on the tackle.
See, the amazing stat to me right now that jumps off. You think about it. Both these defenses well known for rushing the passer, well known for sacking the quarterback. No sacks so far today. Brett Favre has had excellent protection. The mistakes that have been made on the interceptions had nothing to do with pressure.
Joe Sims has come in, replacing Tootie Robbins on the right side at right tackle. Favre, he was looking for Jackie Harris.
Jackie Harris is complete. Dante Jones in the Bears coverage. 2nd and 10 at the 29.
Jackie Harris having a really busy day, incredible day. To think, just 18 days ago, 18 days?
17 days since the surgery. Now he's out running around. Has 5 catches so far. And at least he's running around and catching the ball. Seems Sterling Sharp in the second half is running for exercise and not for receptions.
2nd and 10. Favre too high. That time looking for Sharp. They love this guy in Chicago. I'm talking about his Bears teammates as well. Saw him in the locker room on Friday before practice, and
standing in front of a mirror.
Yeah, standing in front of a mirror. He says, "Check out this profile or this physique." I said, "Let me see the profile." He said, "No, that's all right."
Say that's not the point.
One. Very popular though with his teammates. 3rd and 10. And sidearming it to Brooks, but not even close to the first. Chris Zorich, along with Maurice Douglas, keep him about 6 yards shy of the first. And for the first time today, we'll see Brian Wagner.
What a nice job by that Bears defense. Great coverage down the field. Once again, the deepest receiver on the football field was Jackie Harris, 35 yards down the field. The deepest wide receiver, Sterling Sharp, at 15 yards. That won't do it.
Wagner, one time in his career, punted for the Bears. Terry Obey on the run back from the 19. Up the middle to the 29. 48-yard punt, 10-yard run back. Zorich. Dave Wannstedt was really impressed by Zorich's line last week against the Lions, where he had 10 tackles. Said in our system, that's hard to do.
Well, here's a young man right there that is a testament to how unimportant at times these scouting combines can be for guys coming out of college, because here's a guy that would definitely get spit out by the computer. They'd say, no, sorry. Says he's 6'1", 285. I put him more closer to 6 foot. But he's got one of those batteries, one of those motors that's always going, sideline to sideline.
33 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Hayward is the single back. They fake to Ironhead. Yurkovich chasing the quarterback. And did he get back to the line of scrimmage? Could be the day's first sack. Well, they call it no gain on the play. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. That does count as a sack. That is the first of the day. You were talking about that earlier, Randy. At the end of 3 quarters, the Bears 20, the Packers 17, and our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
V6.
Well, here's your score by quarters as we're about to start the fourth, matching touchdowns in the opening quarter. Bears led 10-7 at halftime. Then went in front 17-7, got tied at that figure. Then a field goal by Butler has Chicago back in front. Second down and 10, first play of the fourth quarter, and Worley darts ahead for 6. Really been quite a game so far, hasn't it, Randy?
I mean, it's just been a physical football game all the way around. A good execution game. Brett Favre's made the critical errors, but, you know, if you look at the inside, this is where it happens in a Bears-Packers game. Watch Yurkovich. He's being pushed around by Fontenot, Bortz. He takes that side. The nose guard goes one way, and the offensive line makes the defense pay in the middle. But, you know, this is a get muddy, get bloody, get dirty kind of a game up front. The glamour guys get the press, but it's these big guys up front that are going to win it.
Third down and 4. Over to Conway. Conway makes the move to pick up the first down out to the 50. He saw a little opening. He cut back to the middle and jetted for the first for 15 yards.
And one of the reasons you call them glamour guys, well, because the big guys can't do this. That's why. Nice move by Conway, slicing up inside. No inside pursuit from the defense. And there are some big guys you'd call glamour guys, especially number 92 at $9 million a year. He qualifies as a glamour guy. $9 million this year, I should say.
This year.
Poor guy.
First down, and that ball looked like it might pop free for a second. Worley tackled by Butler after a 3-yard run. Minnesota now going into the fourth with 2 Reve's field goals, leading 6-0. And Atlanta has moved ahead of Houston. 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. 17 unanswered by Pittsburgh. Here it's 2017 Chicago. 2nd and 7. Worley scopes the field, cuts back, but Butler was waiting for him.
You talk about really little known players that are having Pro Bowl kinds of years. Butler's that kind of a guy. So you got a flag down on the field. Looks like it's going to be against the Pack.
Illegal use of hands to the face mask. Number 53 of the defense. 5 yards. Automatic first down.
Mike Holmgren sees George Coons get called for that, getting the hands up into the face. When you got that kind of an offensive line like Chicago has right now, with their attitude coming off at you, linebackers can almost be excused, or you can understand why they start pushing and grabbing anything they can.
Well, they're trying to move the chains. It's going to be a first down from the 42.
It's not often you see the chain guys kind of arguing with the officials, not wanting to move those things. Very apropos. Sharp should be on the sideline with a towel over his head. He's pretty much been invisible since halftime.
Harbaugh picks up the football and gets it away to Jennings. And they wanted a late hit here at home. Wayne Simmons pushed him out. This could have been disastrous for the Bears.
Nice job by Jim Harbaugh, though. Ball comes right up on his top hand and drops straight down. The way things have gone today for the Packers, if that had been them, the Bears would have recovered it. Watch this push out of bounds. Yeah, it's about 3 yards out of bounds. I call that late.
Yep, but they did not call it. 2nd down and 8. And it's Neil Anderson in the middle of the field to set up 3rd and about 5. And we have the update coming your way right now from Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, in Houston, watch Warren Moon under a heavy rush, gets it away on target. Webster Slaughter, 25 yards and a touchdown. The extra point pulls Houston to within one. 14-13, Atlanta in the third. Jim?
What a scene that is today with Jerry Glanville going back to the dome where he once coached. Third down, 3rd and 5. Try to run for it, and Anderson doesn't get it. Bryce Pop stopped him short. And they're bringing out Kevin Butler, who is career 5 for 5 from 50 yards against Green Bay.
I don't understand not throwing the ball in that situation. Neil Anderson up until that down had 6 carries for 11 yards. And the Green Bay Packers were all over the backfield of the Chicago Bears on that one.
This will be a 52-yard try. There you see it against Green Bay. Never missed over 50. 52-yard try. Butler's kick. Got to get up. No good. So it remains with 11 minutes to go. Chicago 20, Green Bay 17.
Summary is sponsored by Bud Light.
Well, the Bears defense has scored 2 touchdowns today as the Packers have turned it over in all 4 times in Bear territory. Falk moving in on a career-high passing yardage figure. How close Kevin Butler's 52-yard field goal was. Just a shade short and right.
This is a situation for a Bears defense. Their offense isn't doing it. They've got to make something happen, get a turnover.
Edgar Bennett hits head-on with Sean Gale and Percy Snow.
Can be deceiving when you're looking into the pits like this. You see players get walled off. Watch McMichael get walled off by Harry Galbraith, but the pursuit from the backside we keep talking about, that coming from Percy Snow and Sean Gale, that's why the tackle can take the inside gap. He knows he's got the support behind him.
2nd down and 7. Sharp has not caught a pass in this half. There's a play to West. Good for a first down near midfield. Percy Snow, Jeremy Lincoln a little shaken on that play. They made the hit at the 48.
You know, up to this point in this quarter, except for the one pass he overthrew to Sterling Sharp, it almost looks like Favre isn't even looking at his favorite wide receiver during these plays.
Is there any team in football that uses the tight end as effectively as Green Bay? Maybe Dallas.
With Jackie Harris, they're a real weapon. With Ed West, it's a changeup.
First down from the 49. Favre evades the pressure, now falls back into it. Laterals at the last minute to Bennett. There's a clip. They didn't see it. I know what you're talking about. Could have been called on Jackie Harris, but no flag, and Bennett's out at the 46. Trace Armstrong put pressure on Favre, who improvised and was able to lateral to Bennett.
Well, much like Jim Harbaugh moves around and made things happen, Favre's done an effective job. Armstrong's about to get the sack. Look at that clip on Carrier by Harris. That was blatant. But what's going on with Sterling Sharp? Where is he? That's where he is. He's over the middle getting pounded.
2nd down, 5. There's Harris with Joe Kane riding him down along with Gale. It'll be a 3rd and 2 situation next for Green Bay.
And his passing offense so far for the Packers, Jim, seems to be sort of like an all tight ends deal. They might not all be tight ends, but they're all running tight end routes. Nice short 10, 12-yard routes. Nothing down the field.
Well, that's eight receptions by the tight ends. 3rd down, 2. Firing for it, and Harris dropped it. Favre zipped it right in there, and Harris didn't hold on. That's the third Packer drop of the day.
Well, you can't blame that on rust and inactivity. Harris has made some nice catches so far today, and Brett Favre put that exactly where it needed to be. Harris just couldn't come down with it.
So the Packers will have to punt with 8 minutes to go in this game, trailing by a field goal. Wagner's punted only once today. Good snap, big high kick. High kick that will hit right at the goal line and bring it out to the 20. Chicago and Green Bay. Bears lead it by a field goal in the fourth.
National Football League is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Tots Blanc and Noir, there's a little fun in every bottle. Smooth operator wet-dry razors from Panasonic, smoother than you ever thought you'd be. And by Pizza Hut, anytime's a great time to stop and smell the pizza.
Well, that Bears defense will probably be challenged again here before this game's over. Chicago first down from its 20. Harbaugh dumps it to Hayward. Ironhead makes a move. And a face mask call coming up against Wayne Simmons.
And the idea here is first downs and time off the clock. Keep the defense off the field and don't give Brett Favre and the Packer offense too much time when they get it back.
Personal foul, tackling by the face mask on the defense. First down.
Well, you got a 325-pound fullback. You can almost understand why you want to grab at anything you can to try to bring him down. That is a load.
And I think that extra tug on the face mask made it one of 15 yards instead of 5.
There was very little inadvertent about that. That was all that was available. It was grabbed and it was blatant.
First down now from the 39, midway through the fourth quarter. Bears lead 20-17. Play action. Harbaugh looking for Obi. What a catch! Down at the 13, Terry Obi. Out fighting 2 Packers for it.
That's what we said, Jim. It might not be pretty, but somehow, some way, Terry Obi finds a way to make plays for his coach Dave Wannstedt and his quarterback Jim Harbaugh. This thing could have been fair caught. It was hanging up there, but Obi was going to be the one to come down with it. That was pure want to. He just wanted to come down with this a lot worse than Mitchell.
Say, this kid can play in the NFL.
What a great play.
The Vikings had a look at him. He's out of Oregon, and he's come up with another big play. Career long, in fact. And there's a 1-yard run by Anderson. Yeah, that 48-yard reception, a career long for Obi, who scraped his elbows last week, making a diving end zone catch that was a beauty against the Lions.
Well, like we said, he finds a way to do it. If he's got to lay out and do it, he'll do it. If he has to go to a jump ball and outfight somebody, he'll do that too.
Update now on Minnesota-Detroit. Still 6-0 with 10:30 remaining. Second down and 9. Harbaugh threw it away. Got a chance to unload it with Matt Brock in his face.
And that's an example of a quarterback knowing just don't do anything dumb. Don't throw it somewhere where you could have a turnover. Enable your kicker, Kevin Butler, to still kick a field goal if you can't punch this thing in.
And look at Harbaugh's numbers in the second half. Come back strong. 110 yards passing, 6 out of 8. But here's a big play for him. Third down and 9 with 6 minutes to go. Three-step drop. Now we'll run with it. And only a gain of about 2. Inside of the 20. The Bears offense, just like the first time against Green Bay, unable to find the end zone. So Butler comes back out.
The bottom line, Jim, though, it's not how, it's how many. And right now, the Bears have a few more.
This is a 29-yard field goal attempt. Butler makes it. 23-17 Chicago. 5:19 to go in this game.
A look behind the scenes as sports and science converge. Brought to you by AT&T.
Jim Nance and Randy Cross from Soldier Field. The Packers have won three straight wins where they've come from behind in the fourth quarter. And that's the assignment right now, trailing by 6. That kick. Boy, close.
What? He was going to pull out a flag, and he didn't. It was a little double clutch to the back pocket there. Looked like he wanted to pull the flag out.
You know, you couldn't be any closer to it either. Make the call.
Had a bad view.
Ball bounced over the top of the pylon. That puts it in the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 on the 20.
The pylon is part of the goal line.
So Green Bay will start at the 20 instead of the 35.
I watched the ball. Right over the top. Going for it. No, will I? Oh, no. One more time. Watch the angle. A lot of hesitation, but an excellent non-call. He wanted to, though.
Maybe he was just tucking in his shirt. Huh?
Had a scratch.
I don't think so.
Had an itch. Had to go with it.
Yeah, right. Okay. First down for Green Bay. And Favre sets up the screen. Thompson. Blockers in front. Thompson to the 35. Harry Galbraith out in front for him.
This is a situation where you've got a Packers offense that's obviously got to be desperate to get it down and score. And you've got a Bears defense that really knows this is the money time for a defense. I mean, this is when they have to smell the blood and go for the kill.
Brett Favre has now reached a career high, his first ever 300-yard game. 27 of 36, 311. Sharp. Another first down. And the Packers come marching back with 4:20 remaining.
Tell you what, though, Jim, Dave Wanstead will let these Packers get 10, 12, 15 yards at a shot as long as he can keep them in front of them and count on the fact that sooner or later there'll be an error made. Sterling Sharp finally rejoins the action today. Another short hook, kind of a hitch route run by the Green Bay receiver.
Well, he had been silent in the second half. He had a touchdown in the opening quarter today. Here's a first down play. Favre, short drop, fires it. Wolford with the big hit on Clayton. That got him about 3 yards.
That's a tackle there, just like they coach the kids starting when they're about 10 years old. Run right through the offensive player.
Houston has come back to take the lead on Atlanta.
And that score of local interest, still 6-0 you saw Minnesota over Detroit.
It's still Percy Snow at middle linebacker instead of Dante Jones. Second down and 7. Sharp. Out of bounds at the 35 with 3:10 to go. That was a 14-yard play.
As a dangerous receiver, if you let him get his shoulders turned upfield like that, if you can have him turning towards the quarterback, you got a shot at hitting him. But if you let him turn those shoulders towards the goal line, you're going to have to deal with his strength.
Back to Sharp. Boy, they just put the ball in his hands and let him work. And he picks up 7 or 8.
Just like last week in that last drive against Tampa Bay. You know, he had 3 catches going into that drive and said he really didn't feel like much of the offense, but you see what they do, and they've got to get the ball to him. He made the point to us yesterday, Jim. Defenses can try to take you away, but if Mike Holmgren in this offense wants to get me the ball, I'm going to get the ball.
2nd down, 3. Can Green Bay come back in the 4th quarter, come from behind for the 4th straight game? Sharp. Oh, this time he didn't hold on to it. Wolford made contact, but a rare drop by Sterling Sharp.
Well, it's a tough one to handle. Thrown kind of high and inside, almost over Donnell Wolford. Watch the battle inside and the adjustment Sharp has to make with his body. He wants the ball on his left shoulder, comes in on his right, and he's thinking defensive back, and the ball hits him in the chest.
3rd down, 3. Favre with career numbers, yardage-wise. And they did not get it. Edgar Bennett was about a half-yard shy. Armstrong and McMichael met him at the 26.
I think it's going to get real loud here in this stadium because the Packers have got to go for this. Mike Holmgren's got to look down at that chart and figure out what is my 4th and about half of a yard play I want to run. But first I want a timeout so I can think about it a little bit longer.
So that'll leave the Packers with 2 timeouts. 2:32 remaining.
Well, it's very simple. Mike Holmgren and Dave Wannstedt know that this play is the ball game. If they can stop, if the Bears can stop the Packers here, they're going to win this ball game and go into what would look to be a tie for first place. And once again, this is a situation where the Green Bay Packers are really sorely missing a big physical pounding lead fullback. No one's got a fullback like Hayward, but a big physical fullback is what you need in a lead block situation. Tell you, Brett Favre has faked a naked boot 2 or 3 times today and has been wide open every time he's done it.
Holmgren brought him back for a moment for one last encouraging word. Fourth down and a full yard. 2:32 remaining. And Chicago leads by 6.
The Bears need penetration, and they need to stay at home backside.
Rolling out, Favre fires it. Sharp dropped it right in his hands at the 20.
You get into those pressure situations. How do you draw it up? You draw it up so your quarterback takes a short roll and you get it to your best receiver because you know he's going to catch it, right? Wrong. Watch Trace Armstrong shoot upfield fast. Harry Galbraith gets him down, and from the backside comes Richard Dent, but that play wasn't made by Sterling Sharp.
That's Anderson for about 2 yards.
Remember, you've got 2 timeouts left for the Packers, and the clock is going to stop at the 2-minute warning.
Well, they just used their second timeout. We'll be right back. And play action. Harbaugh throws incomplete. Had it for a moment. Ryan Wetnight, a rookie from Stanford. Leroy Butler defending.
Another case of very tight physical defense by the Green Bay Packers defensive backfield. Harbaugh put that ball right where only Wetnight could get it.
2:13, so that saves the Packers a timeout also on the incompletion.
These are two teams that have been living and dying by fourth quarter last-minute heroics.
Third down 9. Hard run, but just shy of the first. Worley. And even that late attempt at pushing the ball forward won't help either. So the 2-minute warning, and the Packers will get the football back. They'll have one timeout in their hip pocket also. This one too coming down to the wire. Chicago will punt the football with a 23-17 lead. The Packers have one timeout.
And in a situation like this, you've got to bring up the Packers' inability in this first half, in the first half of handling the football. Critical for the Packers to handle this ball after it is kicked.
That's Robert Brooks.
At the risk of losing some yards or not getting that extra 1 or 2, Brooks must cover this ball.
Big booming kick. Fair catch by Brooks. All the way back at the 16. 49-yard boomer by Gardocki. So the Packers must drive 84 yards with 1:53 on the clock.
And if you're Mike Holmgren in this Packer offense, I think you get the ball right back into Sterling Sharp's hands. Right away. He's the guy that brought you here, and if you're going to do it, another late second finish like this, you got to get it to Sharp.
Favre picked off Carrier. Carrier with open field ahead. Carrier is in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Chicago. Touchdowns by the Bears defense.
Every time that Brett Favre has made anything close to a critical error, there's been a Chicago Bear where he should be, and they've taken full advantage of it. In a game of big plays off big mistakes, Carrier easily picks this off and fights his way into the end zone. And when you make a big mistake, you pay a price. And here's the price that Brett Favre pays. How has Dave Wannstedt and the Bears done it? They've done it with defense, and they've done it the way Dave Wannstedt wants them to do it. The Packers can get the ball down the field. 8 or 10 yard passes are great in the first, second, and third quarter, but in this situation, you've got to put the ball down the field. And Leroy Butler there and Reggie White and this Packer team knows they let a big, big opportunity slip out of their hands.
Favre. That one dangerous again, intended for Bennett. Trace Armstrong put pressure on Favre. Coming up after the game, the NFL Today postgame show, Greg and Terry will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights from the first set of games today in the NFL action.
And who'd have thought coming into this game that this would be the early game offensive showcase?
Yeah, really.
Or at least scoring showcase.
47 points, would you believe that?
Not much of an offensive showcase unless you count just moving the ball on offense and not scoring with it, as Green Bay's done too much.
Favre back across the field. There's Sharp. Tackled at the 47. Packers hurry to the line. One timeout remaining for them. Put Sharp over 100 yards today, but he won't forget that drop. Tough catch on that one, though. Under a minute. Now, we showed you a stat earlier about takeaways by the Bears in their wins versus their losses. How about this now? Factoring in today, 24 takeaways in the victories. In the 5 losses, only 3.
They do it when they're attacking. They do it when they're sitting back. But the bottom line for them is they do it.
And that pass, well, what a hit by Carrier. Ow.
Next, Brooks is looking at a football, thinking about catching it, and the next thing he knows, he's on that G decal on the side of his head right there. Woo! That is following through. That is not hitting to a receiver.
Ooh.
That is hitting through a receiver. That sort of gets a group shiver out of the boys.
Yes, got one for me, I'll say that. 3rd down 10. Lobs it, Brooks. He's hammered, but a first down for the Packers. There's the timeout called by Favre. I'd like to thank our crew today. Who's brought you this game, our producer, Mark Wolf. This game directed by Mike Arnold. Our associate producer is Lance Barrow, and our broadcast associate is John Coleman'sberger. Senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin, and the executive in charge of production is Rick Gentile. This NFC Central turning into the most exciting race in pro football. We're on the brink of having 3 teams tied with one other 1 game back.
And it's a situation where, you know, these teams play outside this division. I think they look pretty good. Something about playing each other has a tendency to bring out the worst in each other. And Dave Wanstead says, you know, this is a lot better division than I gave it credit for. When I came in here, I sort of used to look down on the Central Division. There's a lot of talent here in this division, but when you're playing defense like Dave Wanstead's Bears are right now, you know, it's hard to picture anybody scoring an awful lot of points against his defense.
A minute 30 left, and the Vikings lead by 13.
Well, that big goose egg tells you something about the effectiveness of the Detroit Lion offense without Barry Sanders.
Boy, does it. Favre, that ball wobbling toward the end zone, batted down by Wolford. Trace Armstrong got a piece of the arm as Favre released it. I think he tipped it.
Now let's take a look down at what we have coming up next week. Look at this. Chicago is at Tampa. You got Dallas at Minnesota.
Detroit at Phoenix. That won't be easy for the Lions.
Well, Joe Bugle's team has found a way to lose most every game they've been tied in.
2nd and 10. Favre incomplete. Talking about this division and how they don't always score a lot of points. One thing that's kind of fascinating with McMahon starting at quarterback today for Minnesota, there's not one starting quarterback in the division that has thrown more touchdowns than interceptions. They've all thrown more interceptions than touchdowns, except for one who's 13 and 13, and that's Craig Erickson, the guy you'd maybe least expect of Tampa Bay.
Well, Brett Favre had a rough first month of the season when he was attacked by defenses, but his mistakes today, his turnovers, and his contribution to the Bears' defensive effort has all been self-produced. It hasn't been pressure.
It's going to the end zone this time. Jackie Harris waiting, tipped, away, incomplete. Joe Kane got a hand on it. Now 24 seconds to go.
4th and 10 at the 27.
This Bears team left the field November the 7th. Disheartened after a last-second loss to the Raiders. where they gave up 10 points in the last couple of minutes. They walked away from that game 3-5 with a daunting 3-game road trip ahead. And now 4 weeks later, 4 straight wins. At San Diego, at Kansas City, at Detroit, and today against Green Bay. Flag down. Clayton stopped short of the first. John Mangum makes the play, but there is a flag down. And we can tell you Minnesota-Detroit has gone final now. The Vikings shut out the Lions.
83 was never set for an illegal shift. That penalty is declined. First down, Chicago.
Minnesota today sacked Rodney Peete 7 times. Andre Ware, in fact, came in late in that game for Peete because Peete was picked off 4 times.
Take a look at Steve McMichael. Here's a happy guy. When Mike Ditka left Chicago, he had to be one of the veterans saying, how long will I be here? How long will it take to turn this thing around? I can tell you defensively, the Bears are back.
Well, Brett Favre today had a career high in attempts, completions, and yardage. 36 of 54, 401 yards. But the defense of the Bears came up with the big plays. They took advantage of Favre's turnovers, scored 3 touchdowns on defense, and there's now a 3-way tie for the lead in the NFC Central. We've got the NFL Today post-game show coming up next. So for Randy Cross and Leslie Visser, Jim Nantz saying so long for now from Soldier Field, where the Bears have won 4 straight. Greg and Terry are coming up next.